AA sized lights are a lot of fun, and the ThruNite Saber is kind of a standout because it's inexpensive, easy to use, and super bright. Welcome back to Shul Lights. Today I've got the ThruNite Saber. It's a AA sized light that does take AA batteries as well as 14500 cells. In fact, it includes one. Now I've got several lights that look almost exactly the same as the ThruNite Saber. I got this i5R by Olight, that's the purple one in the middle. I got the Ace Beam Pokelit, and then I've got the ThruNite Saber. Now, all three of these look so similar, and they operate similarly too, but performance-wise, they're actually quite different, and it's all due to the emitter choices, which are all different in the three, and the optic choices, which are different in all three. While we got all three of these out, let's go ahead and do a size comparison. And you can see that they are small lights. There is an on-a-loop AA right there. Well, it's actually a nickel metal hydride, but you get it. It's AA sized. It won't stay for me. And then here is a micro click Arcadian from Charles Wiggins. And you can see that these are just not big lights. They're all very small. And the ThruNite is actually the lightest of the three. It was 55 grams, while the Ace Beam and Olight were 57 and 59 grams, respectively. The box is a cardboard box which tears open at the back, and on the inside, a little insert pulls out, and the ThruNite Saber was right there. When you first get it, you have to tighten down the head because the head's loose to prevent activation in the box. On the underside of this little insert, you've got a USB-A to C charge cable. That would be for the battery that's included inside, and a pamphlet manual. The light is a classic looking light with good Type 3 black anodization, and you can see that there is some milling here, some milling grooves on the sides for better grip, but otherwise it's a pretty smooth light elsewhere. It's got what looks like a cap on the back here, but that doesn't unscrew as far as I can tell. I wasn't able to budge it. When you go to take the battery in and out, it is through the head or via the head. So you unscrew the head like this, and then inside is the battery, and there is the other side of the driver. The driver looks maybe press fit, maybe glued. I'm not sure. I haven't tried to disassemble this light yet. But the threads feel great. There's an O-ring there. Let's take a look at the optic. It is a TIR. It's not a reflector. It's a optic. And it is made out of PMMA. That's on their website. And it's quite throwy because of not only the design of the optic itself, but the fact that it uses a luminous SST20 emitter, which tends to be smaller than some of the emitters used in some of these other lights. If you look at the Pokelit, for example, you can see the giant dome on that emitter versus, I mean, this is under an optic, so it's magnified, but the SST is a smaller phosphor surface. And then on the Olight here, which is also an optic, but it's a more floody version, you can see how big that, I think it's an Osram P9 is in this i5R. The button on the back feels like a hard plastic. Feels like a hard plastic to me. The rest of the flashlight appears to be aluminum, and it's clicky. It's a forward clicky, so you can half press to activate and then click hard. There's not much play. It seems to go up and down pretty easily. It's fine. It's fine. It's a decent button. It feels at least as good as the buttons on these other two lights. So if you've ever used a Pokelit or an i5R, it's a very familiar feeling button. It's got a press-on two-way clip here so that you can insert it into your pocket with the head down if you want, or this reverse part of the clip is for ball cap use, so you can use it as an impromptu headlamp, which with a very lightweight light like this, only about 50 grams, this would be ideal for using on the end of a ball cap. Let's talk about the battery and charging. So it comes with an included ThruNite 14500 battery. You can see there it says 920 milliamp hours, And it's got a USB-C charge port right on the end here. And when you plug it in with a USB-C cable, there's a light up here that glows red and turns green when it's fully charged. This light is dual fuel, so you can use this included lithium-ion battery, or you could use a 1.2 volt nickel metal hydride or a 1.5 volt alkaline. You can pretty much use any type of battery that is a button top like these two guys and this approximate shape, as long as it's between 0.9 volts up to 4.2 volts. That's the range that this ThruNite Saber operates on. The UI is simplicity itself. Very easy to use, very satisfying. So if you click once, you go to low, which I'm going to call kind of a medium actually. And then if you let go and click again, you go to high. That's it, 2 modes, low and high. Now there is a half press, so you can press down, let up and press again to mode switch. So if you're used to a forward clicky button, this is forward clicky. There's kind of a short memory, next mode memory. What I mean to say is, if I click on, I'm on low. When I click off, the next time I click, I'm going to go to high. So it memorizes what you're on and then rotates to the next mode if it's within about 10 seconds. So you can see I'm on low again. And then if I sit here for a bit, but then I click again, I'm on high. If you wait a long time though, like, maybe 12, 15, 20 seconds, it will always start on low. All right, let's do some lumen testing. So we got about a little light leak here. I can turn down my video lights to make that a little better. There we go. So now we are at reading 0. Now, if I go to the low mode, we're getting 67 lumens, which is actually over what they quote in the manual. They say 57, so I'm getting 67. And then if we go to high, we get almost 700 lumens at the start there. I'm going to let this run for 30 seconds. Let's see what we get. All right, to about 10 seconds in. Wow, it's got great sustain for a little tiny light. All right, we're still at 650 lumens. It's getting pretty toasty. It's getting pretty... Oops, sorry. I took it out of the hole there. Well, there you go. There's just not much drop-off at all. You got well over 600 lumens for ANSI, and we're starting around 700. Now, that was on the included 14500. Let's take a look at what an on-a-loop will do here in nickel metal hydride. It's going to be less. So on low, we're getting about 30 lumens, and on high, we're getting about 250 lumens. I also want to point out, just as an aside for anyone that doesn't know this, that while the lithium-ion battery claims to be 920 milliamp hours, and the nickel metal hydride claims to be almost 2000 milliamp hours, you're actually going to get more runtime out of the lithium ion at a similar output. So I guess what I'm trying to say, and I know that you can't really get a similar output between these two because you're getting either 60 some odd lumens on low, and then here it's about 30, and then here you're getting 700 lumens, and then here you're getting 250. But what I'm saying is if I could set them to 100 lumens and 100 lumens, you're going to find that the lithium-ion battery actually puts out 100 lumens longer than the on-a-loop. So it's just an interesting thing that is because of the voltage difference of these two batteries. All right, let's do a quick CCT and tint test. And on low, we're getting 6000 K and a little bit above delta UV. All right, let's go to high now. And we still get about 6000. All right, I'm in my backyard, and it's a little over 10 meters away to that wall. I'm starting with the Olight i5R on low, and now we're going to go to high. So that's high, which is about a 350 lumens on the Olight i5R. This is by far the floodiest of the three AA's we're going to be looking at. You can see that the hotspot and the spill are not actually that different. It puts a lot of light out into the spill. Next up, the Ace Beam Pokelit. I am on moonlight right now, and you can see it just at the bottom of the frame. And when I go towards the wall, you probably can't see it at all. I definitely can't. So it is a very, very low, maybe 2 lumens moonlight. Now let's go to the middle mode, which is low. And you can see that the beam now has a little more light compared to the spill. Still kind of a floody light. And now let's go to high. And you can see that the high is brighter than the medium. But let me go back to the medium here. And notice that the difference between the medium and the high is not as pronounced as I'd want it to be. I kind of want those two modes to be more separate. And now we have the start of the show, the ThruNite Saber. This is on low, and you can immediately see how concentrated the beam is. It's pretty much all just a hot spot and very little spill. Very classic TIR optic look to it. And that is the 60 lumens low. Now let's go to high, and that's the 700 lumens high, and you can see how much brighter it is than the competition. Let's look at that tree in the other yard there. Man, it really throws so much more than the other two because it's double the lumens. I'm going to be honest, when ThruNite asked to send the Saber to me for review, I was like, oh, not another AA light. I got so many. But the fact of the matter is, this thing is considerably brighter than the competition. So if you want high CRI, this isn't it. But I think a lot of people just want to break that 500 lumen barrier on a AA sized light, and this ThruNite Saber will do it. And man, for really inexpensively, I looked on Amazon and the light was $19.99, at least in the US store, and it had a 15% off promotion. So to get this light for like $17 and it's 700 lumens, comes with the battery, such a steal. So if you're in the market for a AA light, I highly recommend the ThruNite Saber. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.